Let's get started with where we have stopped our discussion. I hope you are able to see the question what we have been talking about in the last class. Okay, so where some staff readings are given, and it is said that after third and sixth and eighth readings, there is a shift in the instrument station, and you are asked to enter the staff readings in your level book, that is your record book, and you are also asked to calculate the RL values of all those respective points. So where we have solved it based on height of instrument method, and the same thing we'll also try to solve it based on your rise and fall method. So based on rise and fall method, how do we solve it? Let us try to go ahead and understand it. So once we go ahead in solving your same problem for the data what is given based on rise and fall method, so we have to specifically understand to know how the data has to be properly represented into that level book or the table corresponding to that level book. So let me go on to write down the data, whatever we have talked about, because already the same data we have used in the last class for solving based on height of instrument method. So we are given with some stations where your level staff readings are taken. Okay. So to start with, it is said on the benchmark, you are taking your first reading, that is obviously called as your backside, and the reading is 2.228, the first reading what we had. And moving on, the second reading we said it is going to be represented under the intermediate side, because after the third reading there is a shift in the instrument. So third reading becomes your foresight reading. So that foresight reading is 0.988. Already we have seen in the last class how to write it in the form of your table, under which comes under backside, which comes under intermediate side, which comes under foresight, is what we have already discussed. And after third reading, there is a shift in the instrument. I'll call it as your change point 1. Okay. So this point is point B, this point is point C. Right. And once there is a change in the instrument station, the immediate reading what is taken, that is your fourth reading, fourth staff reading, is to be listed under your backside corresponding to point C position. And then next subsequently, the other reading, fifth reading comes under your intermediate side, and once again sixth reading comes under your foresight, because there is a shift in the instrument station after your sixth reading. So 1.6262 is indicating me the shift in the instrument. So I will be writing it as change point 2, and these points are point D and point E. So with respect to point E, you have what is called as your foresight, and subsequently will also be getting what is called as your backside, 0.602. And then immediately after eighth reading, it is said there is a shift in instrument. So eighth reading would be coming under your foresight reading, 1.982. So this is your change point 3. And then ninth reading, which is obviously after shifting the instrument, which comes under what is called as your backside, 1.044. And at point G, we have the last reading, so obviously which is going to be represented under your foresight. Okay, this is the data what we have got in your table, which we are supposed to be entering into your level book. Okay, this is how your level book page is going to be with respect to your rise and fall method. Now, if I am going to be applying the rise and fall method to calculate the RL values of various points, already it is given corresponding to the benchmark point, the RL value is given. The RL value corresponding to the benchmark point is 432.383 meters. Okay, so all this data what I am representing is in meters. Your backside or intermediate side or foresight, your rise value, fall value, and your RL value, all those are what I am referring to are indicated in meters. Now, once this data is represented in your level book, our next step is to go on to calculate your corresponding rise value or fall value with respect to the two subsequent readings what we have taken. Now, look at here. Okay, between these two, that is 2.228 minus 1.606. So 2.228 minus 1.606. 0.622 is a positive quantity because the first reading minus the next reading. So is going to be what I have got it as a positive quantity. Positive quantity, as I told you, it will be listed under your rise value. If it is a negative, it will be listed under fall. Okay. Next, the difference between these 2 points. That is 0.618 is again positive. So I am writing it under rise. Okay. Next, there is a change point 1. So once again, we will calculate the difference between the backside reading and the next intermediate side reading. So 2.090 minus 2.864. Yeah, as it is minus, so I am going to be listing it under fall. I will not be specifically writing it as minus here because fall itself indicates it is negative. Okay, 0.774 is the data what I have, which indicates the fall value. So 2.864 minus 1.262 is a positive quantity and the value is 1.602. Right, it's a positive, so we are writing it under rise. Okay. Next, there is a shift in instrument station. Then go back to your backside, and then next immediately I have got your foresight only. There is no other intermediate side. Yeah. Difference between 0.602 minus 1.982. Minus, so it is under fall. 1.38. Okay. Next, subsequently, once again I have a shift in instrument station. So I'll go back to my backside reading. Backside reading minus the next subsequent reading. So 1.044 minus 2.684. 384. Right. 433.006 is going to be your RL value of point B. Likewise, now what is the RL value of point C? RL value of point C is equal to RL value of point B, which is 433.006 plus the corresponding rise or fall value, whatever we have according to your point C position. So that is rise again. So I'm adding it. So plus 0.618. 433.624. Okay. Next, RL of point D is nothing but RL of point C, which is 433.624. Now, should I write it plus or should I write it minus here? Because D, it is a fall. So what I'll be writing here is minus 0.774. So this value is 432.850 is what is my RL value of point D. Likewise, RL value of point E is equal to RL value of point E is equal to RL value of point D, which is 432.850. And with respect to point E, it is a rise. So I am adding that rise value 1.602. Right. Next, RL value of point F. RL value of point F is nothing but RL value of point E, which is 434.452. And at point F, it is a fall data what you have. So minus 1.380, which is equal to 433.072. Okay. And next, RL value of point G. RL value of point G is nothing but RL value of point F, which is 433.072. And it is once again fall data what you have with respect to point G. So minus 1.640. 31.432 meters is the RL value of your point G. Okay. So we can also compare with the table data, whatever I have got with me. So if I compare, I hope whatever I have done is correct because I have got the last RL value to be correct, 431.432. And in the last class, while discussing, we said we can have some arithmetic checks, okay, by which you can understand whether your calculated values are correct or wrong. Okay. So what is that arithmetic checks that we have talked about in the case of your height of instrument method? So we said summation of your back sides minus summation of foresights should be equal to last RL value minus the first RL value. And here in this case of rise and fall method, you have another comparison which you can do, another arithmetic check condition which you will be coming across with, that is your summation of rise minus summation of fall. It means summation of back sides minus summation of foresights should be equal to your last RL minus first RL, which should be equal to summation of your rise data minus summation of your fall data. So if you want to compare, so if you want to check it for, so you can go on to substitute summation of all your backside data that you have got. That's nothing but 2.228 plus 2.090 plus 0.602 plus 1.044. Summation of all the backside data. 5 point, okay, is the summation of backside data, and summation of your foreside data. 6.916. Okay. Last RL value is 431.432, and the first RL value what we had is 432.384, which should be equal to summation of all the rise data. 2.842 minus summation of fall data, 3.794. So you calculate all those values, and I hope you will be getting something minus 0.952. So it means all the conditions, whatever 3 conditions that you have listed, are getting satisfied. So that's the advantage in the case of your rise and fall method when compared to that of your height of instrument method. See, height of instrument method, otherwise also called as collimation method. I repeat, height of instrument method is also called as your collimation method. Please don't get confused in case if you come across with the word collimation method. Okay, so when it comes to height of instrument method, you have only 2 check conditions. That is, summation of backside minus foreside is equal to last RL minus first RL. That is one of the arithmetic check condition what you are comparing with. But whereas in this case of rise and fall method, you have another condition additionally coming into picture, with respect to which you can try to cross verify whether your calculations are correct or wrong. Because the major difference between height of instrument and rise and fall method is, in the case of height of instrument method, nowhere in the arithmetic check expression your intermediate side data is getting reflected. I repeat, your arithmetic in the arithmetic check condition of height of instrument method, nowhere your intermediate side data is coming into picture. Why I am not saying intermediate side data is coming into picture? Because whenever you are writing summation of backside minus foreside, there you didn't talk about your intermediate side. Even in the condition of last RL minus first RL also, you are looking at the last value of RL and first value of RL only. In the height of instrument method, there is a possibility that first RL, last RL you might have calculated correctly, but somewhere in between the data, RL values you might have calculated wrong. Okay, so that is not being reflected in the case of your height of instrument method. But when it comes to the case of your rise and fall method, the effect of that intermediate side data is also coming into picture in the form of your rise or fall data. Because while calculating the rise and fall data, you have already taken into consideration of your intermediate side values. So you are also having an additional check condition, that is summation of rise minus summation of fall. That additional condition is ensuring that your intermediate side data is also taken into consideration, and subsequently you are talking about more accuracy in terms of your calculations with respect to the RL values based on rise and fall method. Okay. So let's go ahead in talking about another problem. Okay, so I'll not just immediately take up this problem. I'll just try to look at some other problem. But however, I'll just try to note down the data for your understanding. I'll just try to note down the data of that problem in your table form, and we'll go ahead by solving another variety of problem. Okay. So what is given here? The following readings were taken with a dumpy level and 4-meter leveling staff. The instrument was shifted after 3rd and 6th reading. The readings are given. Okay, how many readings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 readings are there totally. Enter the above readings in a page of level book and calculate the RL of points. If the first reading was taken with a staff held on benchmark of 240 meters, use rise and fall method and apply the arithmetic checks. Okay, this is all what is the data which is given to you. And if I need to be going ahead in noting down this particular data in your table form, so I'll just start doing that. Let's say station A, station B, station C, station D, station E, station F, and so on. Okay, so station here means it's a place where you are holding your leveling staff for taking the levels. Now, the first reading, whatever you have taken, and what is that? We know the first reading is taken on the benchmark, and the RL value of that particular benchmark is 240 meters, whatever is given in the problem. Okay, So this backside data is in meters, intermediate side data in meters, foresight in meters, rise in meters, fall in meters, RL values are also represented in meters. Okay. And the first reading which is taken on the benchmark is 2.665. And next, moving on, it is said that after third reading and sixth reading, there is a shift in instrument. Obviously, the second reading comes under your intermediate site reading, 3.225, and the third reading comes under your foresight, because after this third reading, there is a shift in instrument. Okay, so where does the fourth reading you are going to be taking after shifting the instrument? This is the change point 1. So after third reading, you are shifting your instrument. So automatically the fourth reading is nothing but the backside reading, which you have taken once again at point C after shifting the instrument. My fourth reading is 1.85 meters. And it is said after sixth reading, there is a shift in instrument. So your fifth reading is going to be the intermediate site reading, and sixth reading comes under your foresight reading, 2.62. And after sixth reading, it is said there is a change in the instrument station. So I'll call it as change point 2. Then seventh reading comes under your backside with respect to your point E position only. And eighth reading is going to be my intermediate site reading, and ninth reading is the last reading in that particular measurements. So I'll be listing it under your foresight. This is what I'll write it as your point G. Okay. So I have entered my data in your level book. Once the data is entered in the level book, our next objective is to go on to calculate your rise values or fall values. Okay, let me solve this problem. No problem. The difference between successive staff readings. 2.665 minus 3.225. Minus indicates it's a fall, 0.56, right? Okay. Next, difference between these two values. Yeah, plus 0.32. Next, moving on with the next subsequent data. 1.85 minus 0.95, because there is an instrument change, 0.87, which is listed under rise. Next, difference between these two. Okay, minus means it is fall. Next, these two, plus 0.625, listed under your rise between these two. So my rise data and subsequent fall data is known. Then RL values of all those respective points, point B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So RL of point B is equal to RL of point A, 240, minus the fall value what I had with respect to point B, 0.56. Yeah. 239.44. Next, RL of point C is 239.44 plus 0.32, which is 239.76. Please check it. Next, RL of point D is RL of point C, which is 239.76. It's again still rise, so plus 0.87, which is equal to 240.63. Next, RL of point D, point E is equal to RL of point D, which is 240.63, and at E it's a fall data, so minus 1.64 to 38.99. Okay. Next, RL of point F, which is RL of point E, which is 238.99, and at F it is a rise, so plus 0.625. 39.615, and RL of point G, which is RL of point F, which is nothing but 239.615, and once again it is a rise, so plus 0.535, 240.15. Yeah. So RL values with regard to all the points I have calculated. Now let me go on to apply your arithmetic checks. Okay. So my arithmetic checks, what I can get started is net summation of backside minus net summation of foresight should be equal to net summation of rise should be equal to last RL value minus the first RL value. Yeah. Summation of backside 6.1 minus summation of foresight 5.95, right? Which should be equal to summation of rise data 3.5 and a summation of fall this should be equal to last RL is 240.15 minus the first RL is 240. I'll be getting 0.15. So you can check it. Everywhere you should be getting 0.15 should be equal to 0.15 should be equal to 0.15. That's all. You can check for the values what you have calculated based on rise and fall method. Okay. The same problem you can go on to solve it by height of instrument method. I'll leave it for you for this particular case. In the next case, I'll try to solve one problem based on height of instrument method, and I'll leave you the rise and fall method by which you can try to practice again. Okay. Yeah. So there is another problem. What is given here? The following observations were taken with a dumpy level and 4-meter leveling staff. The instrument were shifted after the 4th and 7th reading. The first reading was taken on the benchmark whose RL value is 15.575 meters. Prepare a page of level book and calculate the RL of all the points. The observations were taken at every 30-meter interval. In the sense, whenever you are trying to take the measurements of your RL values of those respective points, those RL values of those points, what you are trying to determine is at a interval. If I'm taking RL value of some point here, next another point what I have located where I'm measuring my RL value or where I'm trying to find out my RL value is at a distance of 30 meters. Another point is at a distance of another 30 meters. Another point is at a distance of another 30 meters. So likewise, I went on to that's how I am trying to find out your RL values of those respective points which are 30 meters apart from each other. Okay. Now we are asked to calculate determine the RL values based on your height of instrument method. Same thing, I will try to solve it based on height of instrument method. You can solve it based on your rise and fall method. Okay, so please look at the data what is given. If you want to note down that data, you can note it down so that I can go ahead in putting that particular data into the table. Right, so this is the table what we have for height of instrument method. So let me go on to represent the stations with A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. And what is given? The first reading is taken on the benchmark, and it is said that the benchmark data is 15. Yeah, it is the benchmark point in the remarks I am writing, and it is nothing but the RL value of the benchmark is 15.575 meters. And all the data, backside data, intermediate side data, foresight data, height of instrument, RL value, all of them are represented in meters. All those numbers what I am writing in this table are indicated in meters. Okay, right. It is said that after 4th reading and 7th reading, there is a shift in the instrument station. Okay, let me go on to write down your staff readings in your table properly. So my first reading, which is taken on the benchmark, will be obviously represented with respect to point A, and it is going to be indicated under your backside 0.565. And it is said that after 4th and 7th reading, there is a shift in instrument station. It means that 2nd and 3rd reading comes under your intermediate side data. So which is 1.250 is the 2nd reading, and 1.675 is my 3rd reading. And 4th reading is 3.695, which comes under your foresight. This is your change point 1. Okay, and 5th reading is immediately taken at the same point D after shifting the instrument, which is going to be written under your backside of point D position 0.195. And 6th reading is going to be listed under your intermediate side because after 7th reading there is a shift in instrument. So 6th reading is the intermediate side reading, and 7th reading comes under your foresight reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7th is 0.500, and 8th reading is going to be coming under the backside of your point F because after 7th reading you have shifted your instrument. So 8th reading is 1.785, and 9th reading is with respect to point G position. So that 9th reading is the last reading in my data what is given. So automatically I'll be listing it under your foresight 2.535. This is the data what I have with me. Okay, and after 7th reading there is a shift in instrument station. So this is what is my change point 2. So after entering your data into your level book, corresponding to the height of instrument method, my next step is to go on to calculate the RL values of various points. But before I start talking about the RL values of various points, wherever I have my backside data available, I'll repeat, wherever I have my backside data available, there I am going to calculate my height of instrument value. Okay, my height of instrument is equal to the RL value what I have got with respect to that particular position, with respect to that particular point. So which is 15.575 plus the corresponding backside data what I have at point A. Yeah, 15.14 is the height of the instrument with respect to your point A. Okay. So once the height of the instrument at point A is known, sorry, not point A. So with respect to the first setup of the instrument, once the height of the instrument, that's the line of sight of the instrument from the datum is known, then subsequently the RL values of the next points until you shift your instrument, I repeat, RL values of the next points until you shift your instruments are going to be calculated with respect to your height of instrument value, what you have now calculated. Okay, so what is the RL value of your point B? RL value of point B is nothing but height of instrument what you had for the first time when it is set, that is 16.14 minus, it's always minus here, minus the side data with respect to point B, so which is an intermediate side data, so 1.250. Yeah, 14.89, right? Okay. Next, RL at point C. See, RL at point C, we don't calculate from RL of point B. Understand that. Okay. RL of point C, once again, we calculate based on the height of the instrument only. I repeat, once again, based on the height of the instrument only. Now, what is the height of the instrument with respect to that first setup position, which is 16.14 minus the corresponding staff reading of point C, which is 1.675. Yeah, 14.465. Okay. Next, RL of point D is equal to the height of the instrument what you have with respect to the first instrument setup position minus the last reading what you have taken with that first setup of the instrument, which is foresight of your point D, 3.695. 12.445, right? Yeah. Now at point D, what is that we could see? There is a shift in instrument. Whenever there is a shift in instrument, then calculate your height of the instrument. Now, what becomes the height of the instrument? Okay. So my height of the instrument, what I am going to be having is nothing but RL value of point D, that is 12.445 plus. Whenever you are calculating height of instrument is nothing but RL value of that corresponding point plus the backside reading what I have with regard to that particular position where the leveling staff is held. Okay. So what is my backside reading? 0.125. Yeah. So once I know the height of the instrument when it is set up for the second time, then based on that height of the instrument, then go on to calculate the RL value of point E. RL value of point E is equal to the height of the instrument when it is set up for the second time minus, whenever you are talking in terms of RL, it is height of instrument minus the corresponding sight reading at that point. Okay. So minus 2.345. Yeah, 10.225. Yeah. Next, RL value of point F. RL value of point F is once again height of the instrument minus the corresponding sight reading, that is 0.500, 12 I don't, it is 12.57, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah, 12.57 minus 0.5 is 12.07. Next, at point F, there is a shift in instrument station. So I have to calculate once again what is the height of the instrument with regard to the third position where it is set up now. So height of the instrument is nothing but RL of point F, which is 12.07 plus the backside reading on point F, 1.785. So once I know what is the height of the instrument for the third time when it is set up, Then I'll go on to calculate the RL value at point G. RL value at point G is nothing but height of the instrument, that is 13.855. With respect to that position of the instrument only, your staff reading at point G is taken. So it is minus 2.535. 11.32. Okay. So RL values of all the points are calculated. Now let's go on to apply your arithmetic check. That is summation of backside minus summation of foresight. Okay. My summation of backside, summation of all the backside values, 2.475 minus 6.73. This should be equal to last RL 11.32, 15.575. minus 4.255 meters. Okay, so that's how I can check for my values by applying your arithmetic check. Okay, 2.475 minus 0.673 is minus 4.255, and 11.32 minus 15.575 is also nothing but minus 4.255. It means my calculated values are correct. Okay. Now, this itself is not the end of the problem. What is asked? What is mainly asked here is to find out the gradient between first and last point. Okay. So, what is my first point? Point A. What is my last point? Point G. Okay. So, with respect to the first and last points, I am required to find out the gradient. Okay. Right. So, let's understand. Yeah, maybe somewhere here is my reference datum. Okay. Now, maybe I have one point to the other point, the profile is changing. Okay. So point A with an RL value of 15.5. Yeah. Point B, RL value 14.89. Let's say that point might come somewhere here. From the datum, 14.8. Yeah. Point C, point, yeah, 14.465. Yeah. Point D, I'm just indicating these lines only for your understanding. I need not be indicating them, or I need not be showing your datum also. Okay, right. Yeah. Point D, 12.445. Point E, 10.225, right? Point F, 12.07. Point G, 11.32. Okay, just for rough understanding, I am indicating how roughly the profile between point A to point B to point C, point D to point E to point F, and point F to point G. Profile in the sense the ground, how is it varying? But what is asked to me is to find out the gradient between point A and point G only. I am not asked to find out the gradient between point A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and F to G. What is asked is only between point A and point G. So if I am required to calculate the gradient between point A to point G, that gradient between point A to point G is simply what I can represent it as a line between point A and point B, and the slope of this line. What is meant by gradient? Gradient is nothing but the slope of the line AG. Okay. So this slope of AG is nothing but it is equal to your gradient between A and G points. Okay. So in simple terms, the gradient, whatever I am trying to calculate, gradient between A and G is equal to difference of RL by distance between A and G points. Which distance? It's not the sloping distance, rather it is a horizontal distance what you have between point A and point. So before that, let me also just indicate these vertical lines, just only for my reference to represent your chainage values. That is your 30 meters, whichever we have talked about. So this is 30 meters, this is another 30 meters, another 30 meters, another 30 meters, another 30 meters. This is another 30 meters. So total, what is the distance between point A to point G? This total distance between point A to point G is 30, 30, 30, 30. Total is 180 meters. Yeah. Now, what is the difference of RL values between point A and G? Point A has got the RL value of 15.575. Difference of RL between A and G points. So I'll write it 15.575 minus 11.32 divided by distance between point A to point G is 0.0236 is going to be in terms of the fraction. But if I try to write down as exactly gradient, whenever you talk about, it is represented as 1 in how much? For 1 unit variation in vertical, how much variation you are talking in the horizontal direction? Okay, so 1 in vertical, if I want to calculate, and if I try to calculate that, so maybe I'll just use my data value, what is available. 1 in 42.25 is what I'll be getting. I lost that slide. Okay, so upon calculating that gradient, you are going to be getting that gradient value as 1 in 42.25 meters. So for 1 meter variation in the vertical direction, you have subsequent variation of 42.25 meters. Or in the other way, for every 42.25 meters variation in the horizontal direction, you have a corresponding variation in the profile in vertical direction by 1 meter. So that's how you represent what is called as your gradient. Okay, so so same thing, same RL values you can go on to calculate by rise and fall method also. You will be getting the same values. I hope we should be getting the same values. There should not be any issue. Okay, there might be small 16.14, 12.57. Yeah, there is some. Is it that we have committed mistake? No, we have not committed. The calculations here in the rise and fall method table are slightly wrong from this point. Okay, so this should have been 14.465. Next should have been 12.445, and next should have been 10.225, and subsequently so on. Okay, there is a slight mistake in a small variation of 0.005 meters data is not reflected there. So accordingly, the values what are indicated in this rise and fall method from here to here are not very not really correct. There is a small variation of 0.005 value. If you want, you can just understand that variation here. Because the difference in backside and foresight, you are getting it as correct as what we have got earlier. But whereas here, this calculation is not correct. The RL values, what you have calculated from point C are not exactly correct, because of which that small variation has come into picture. Okay. Yeah, that is corrected maybe here in this case. Yeah, sorry, it is based on height of instrument only, but the calculated values are wrong. We have calculated it correctly. You can check those values, what we have calculated. Check the correct values. I might have confused you with some checks here and there. So don't worry about what it is. Yeah, some mistakes are there in this slide. This is 150 meters. This is 180 meters. And this value is not 13.315, 7.32. Yeah, this is how it was supposed to be exactly. And you'll be getting the values correctly then. Right. So this is another problem what you can please practice. Okay, so you are given with some staff readings and you are asked to calculate the RL values of various points, and it said that the first reading was taken on the benchmark point where the RL value of the benchmark point is 100 meters. Yeah, I'll just try to take up another variety of problem. Earlier, whatever problems that we have been coming across with, you are given with the complete data of your staff readings and you went on to calculate your RL values. And then you prepared properly a level, in the level book, you prepared a proper table for calculating the complete RL values. But here, here is some particular case. In that particular level book, all the calculations were done earlier. But now when we went and saw, all the data was not properly represented in that level book table. Some entries are missing. Okay. Now, how do we get that missing entries? How do we calculate or how do we find out that missing entries in that particular level book? Okay. So let's look up a particular case, what we are interested in understanding. The following is an incomplete page of your level book in which X indicates missing entries of those respective line for the work which you have carried out. Calculate all the missing entries and complete the page of level book. Also give the usual arithmetic checks. So you are also required to apply your arithmetic checks, and with that arithmetic checks, try to understand whether your missing entries which you have calculated are correct or wrong. Okay, so let's go on to take up some problem. So here is some problem, some data what I have in my level book with certain values missing. Okay, so today, as the time is less, I'll be taking only one problem of it. In the next class, maybe another problem of it, of this missing entries concept, I'll be taking it up, and so that I can give you some more understanding how to solve in the case if there is a problem related to this missing entries. Okay, so this is the table what we have, and some values are found missing in that particular table. Now, what are those values which are found missing? The fall value at point B is missing, and subsequently the RL value at point B. The rise value at point C is missing, and subsequently the RL value at point C. The rise value at point D is missing, and subsequent RL value at point D. And the foresight data of point E is missing, subsequent RL value, and your fall data of point F and the RL value of point F, and your fall value of point G and subsequent RL value of point G. These entries are missing in my level book. So I want to fill those entries into that level book. So let's go on to fill that. Now, how do I go on to fill that particular data into my level book? Whatever data I have, I'll represent as it is. Now, let me come here to start with. I'm just starting with my point. With point A, all the data is there in my level book, no issue. In the remarks, this is nothing my benchmark point. Okay, right. Now, with regard to point B, do I have any data missing? Yes, the fall value corresponding to point B is missing. How do we calculate the fall value? Fall value is nothing but the difference between these two readings, 2.560 minus 3.54. So 0.98. So I'll be removing that X from there because now I'm filling that data there. Okay. Next, RL value of point B is missing. So how do we calculate the RL value of point B? RL value of point B based on rise and fall method is nothing but RL value of your previous point minus, it's a fall value, so that's why I'm writing it as minus 0.98. So which is equal to, now likewise, let's move on to point C. To understand any data against this point C is missing. Yeah, the rise value corresponding to point C is found missing. Let me calculate. 0.54 minus 3.2, 0.34. It's a positive quantity, so obviously it comes under rise. Next, the RL value of point C. RL value of point C is nothing but RL value of point B, which is 99.02. With respect to point C, it's a rise data. So plus 0.34. Okay, so if I add it, I'll be getting the value 99.36. Please don't write it under your remarks. It has to be properly written under your RL column only. I'm just writing it beyond that. Okay. Next, coming to your point D. In the case of point D also, this rise data is missing. So the difference of these two values, 3.2 minus 2.3486, which is positive. So obviously represented under rise. And RL of point D is RL of point C, which is 99.36 plus it is a rise at point D. So plus 0.86, 100.22. So next, moving on to point E, I have foresight data missing here. Now, what is the data I know? Rise data is known. Okay. When I say rise data is known, then automatically from this point to this point, what should have happened from previous site reading to the next site reading? Next site reading is decreasing. That's the reason why your value is coming under rise. Okay. So what becomes the foresight reading here? Foresight reading here is nothing but 2.34 minus the rise value. If you have any doubt, you can check it. 2.34 minus 1.26, if I calculate, it should come under plus 1.08. Obviously, yes, I'm going to be getting the same. Hope you understood what I said. Generally, how do we calculate? Previous point minus this subsequent point should be equal to your plus 1.08 because it is given under rise. So from this, I can say my x is nothing but 2.34 minus 1.08, which is what I have represented as 1.26 meters. That's what. Okay. So once the missing foresight data is calculated, then what is the RL value of your point E? RL value of point E is equal to RL value of point D, which is 100.32, plus it is the rise value at point E, so plus 1.084. Okay, so RL value of point E is calculated. Next, moving on to point F to understand any missing entries. So at point F, the fall data is missing. So difference in this elevation, difference in the staff readings. So obviously it comes out to be negative. That's why it is listed under fall. Yeah. So next, RL value at point F. RL value at point F is nothing but RL value of point E, which is 101.4, and it is a fall data, so minus 0.49. Next, moving on to point G. The fall data again at point G is found missing. So the difference between these two obviously comes as negative. So it is to be listed under fall data. Yeah. So value is 1.02, I think, right? And the RL value of point G is RL value of point F, which is 100.91 minus 1.02. So the value what I will be getting is 8.
Sir, at point E, reducer level is 100.22 plus 1.08, no, sir?
Yeah, sorry. I wrote it as 100.32. Right, sorry. Yeah, please do.
101.3, sir.
101.3. Okay. So if it is 101.3, then what is this value? 81 here. So I have my values calculated. The last RL value, I'm getting it as 99.79. Okay. Now let me go on to apply my arithmetic checks. What is my arithmetic check? Net summation of backside minus foresight should be equal to last RL minus first RL. Now what is my net summation of backside value? 4.51 minus summation of foresight data 4.72. So what is the difference between these two values? Minus 0.21. Now likewise, last RL minus first RL. What is my last RL value? Last RL value is 99.79 minus my first RL is 99.02. Okay. Sorry, it is 100. Yeah. Minus 0.21. So my arithmetic check is satisfied. So this is how, whenever some missing data is there in that particular level book entry, so we can go on to calculate that missing values, and you can go on to apply for arithmetic check to understand your missing values, whatever you have calculated, are correct or wrong. In case if your arithmetic check is not satisfied, then you have to go back and verify whether your values calculated are correct or wrong. Okay. So you can please check your values with the calculations done properly, which are indicated here. Okay. So there are some other couple of problems which are as similar to that of the previous case which we have talked about. Yeah, please look at here. It is said collimation method. Collimation method is nothing but it is your height of instrument method. Okay, this is one problem which you can both solve it by rise and fall method and height of instrument method. So though it is asked by only height of instrument method, why are we even solving it by rise and fall method means it's only for our practice. Okay, so it's not compulsory that you have to solve it based on both the approaches. Whatever the approach that is asked, you have to solve the problem based on that approach only. And here is another example what you have for you to solve, like this problem here also you are asked to calculate the gradient of the line AB. So first we should calculate the RL of all those points, and once the RL of all those points is known, then a difference in RL values corresponding to point A and point B divided by the length of chainage between point A and point B, that is here 150 meters. So that gives you what is the gradient value corresponding to your point A and B. So if you are calculating, you will be getting the corresponding gradient value. Okay, so the gradient value calculation is not shown in the slide, but you can go on to calculate that gradient value. So one thing what you should be knowing is some more practice you would be required with regard to the data which is missing from your level entry book. Okay, so maybe one or two problems of that, if possible, in the next class we'll be taking it up and we'll try to solve it. And with that, mostly in the next class, maybe for some 15-20 minutes, we'll be spending on the leveling topic, and we'll be moving on to what is called as contouring. Okay, and how do we determine the areas and the volumes based on the contouring work that we are carrying out. Okay, right. If you have any doubts, please let me know.